Have you ever slapped the bottle of Woodford Reserve?
Slapped it?
Yeah.
No.
Go on, just slap the front of it.
That's amazing.
In episode 49 of the Whisky and Things podcast, we sample the Ardmore Legacy, lightly peated Highland single malt Scotch whisky.
And we're joined by our good friend and whiskey blogger or Instagrammer and now YouTube whiskey reviewer, Mr. Jeff Whisky.
And as always, you can find some more whiskey-based content on all our social media platforms at Whisky and Things Podcast on Instagram and at Whisky and Things on Facebook and Twitter.
And many thanks to everyone who has recently joined our Patreon page. You can do so as well. Just head over to patreon.com/Whisky and Things for loads of goodies.
You're listening to the Whisky and Things podcast with Dave Giles and Nick Kent.
Welcome to episode 49. I am Dave Giles.
And I'm Nick Kent. Welcome to the Whisky and Things podcast, everyone. How are you, David?
Not bad, mate. It's been very exciting for me, very exciting. I don't know if you just saw the NASA press conference, but we just saw a video of last week's Mars landing.
Mars landing.
First time we've ever seen video of something landing on Mars. It was incredible. Yeah. Absolutely incredible. Like, we've grown up. Sorry, I know I'm not on the wrong podcast. I know.
Podcast.
I'm so excited about this.
We have a siren. Need a siren to go off.
I'm so excited about this. It's just crazy. Like, we grew up obviously seeing the videos of the moon landings from the 60s and 70s, and to see something land on Mars. And like see the texture, these high definition cameras. These are better cameras than they land on the moon with. It's incredible, Nick. Absolutely incredible.
I bet.
And they even had audio from the surface of Mars as well. They got a little real microphone. They've never done it before, and they had like a few second clip. It was amazing.
Of what? What sound? Wind?
The wind. You can hear the wind on Mars. It's amazing.
Nice.
So yeah, super exciting. So yeah, that's been my evening so far, and I'm about to interview an astronaut as well. So it's all happening. After this, I'm going to interview an astronaut. Anyway, Nick, how are you?
I'm
how
good.
Have you been
I'll tell you
on?
what I've been doing this week. After the Dalwhinnie experiment last week, the Winter's Gold. I put a bit of a Mackmyra Jaktlycka in the freezer, didn't I? I thought a fruity one. I thought another fruity one with the old lingonberry and blueberry wine cask kind of thing would go nice, and it was nice. It's a bit of a higher alcohol content. This was like a 46.1, so there's a bigger kick to it. But it was also kind of a nice, fruity, whiskey cold experience. Yeah.
Which one did you prefer, the Dalwhinnie or the Mackmyra cold?
I preferred the Dalwhinnie. I like that pineapple. Yeah, there was less vanilla in this. I think the cold, because it was higher alcohol, the cold kind of got rid of a lot of the flavour, and the alcohol kind of kicked through. The other one was lower, so it's a bit more rounded. But a little experiment. So yes. Listeners, let us know if you've been putting any other whiskies in the freezer this week. But there we go. So we crack on with this week's guest.
I think so, because he's currently in the Zoom waiting room, Nick.
Yeah, we've not done this before, have we? It's the first time. Usually we do our interviews way in advance, but this time it's literally after we've done the intro. So.
Yeah, he's sitting there. I've just got to press admit right now. Right. So I'm going to click that button and we're going to repress. We'll do whatever. We're just going to do whatever. Sting. Whiskey. Welcome to Whisky and Things, Jeff Whisky.
Here he is. Wait before you come in, Jeff. I got a few. The mustache of mash.
Oh, nice. That's really nice.
The top lip of wee nips.
That just sounds wrong.
Do you like this one?
That does sound wrong. That one sounds really wrong.
The magnum PI of rye and other grains. Jeff Whisky.
Thank you very much. It's overly hyped now. It's good to point out that a majority of my life is just a mustache. We've covered it already.
So, Jeff, we've known you for a while now. You are our first whiskey friend.
Oh.
Yeah, when we started this, you were the first person outside of people we knew who actively was engaging with what we were doing.
Thanks, Jeff.
People have been listening to the pod for a while now will have heard us read out some of Jeff's reviews on some of the whiskies, and he was on the Patreon episode back in episode 25, where I suggested he should take over from the Whiskey God, and I still think that is true.
So with the Whiskey God again.
Anger him. Yeah.
You nincompoops.
Things been frozen in Texas, so I think we're all right at the moment. I think you're safe. I think the big freeze has held his cloud somewhere else.
He's on an icicle.
Yeah.
It's like your Dalwhinnie, nicely frozen.
Exactly. So, Jeff, tell us about your whiskey origin story, or as Nick liked to say, the history of you and whiskey, or whiskery. Let's which is appropriate with your whiskers. So there it is. So yeah, please introduce yourself.
Well, I've never really liked beer, and I've never been like all my friends are your standard, boys. So I've always been an old man in that regard. So I've always leaned more to rum and then I probably I was 19, I tried whiskey properly, and then it kind of just lingered. And then with lockdown, that's when it kind of all really came to a head, because I was no longer driving to work. I thought, I don't get back as late. I can drink more whiskey. And it kind of worked nicely timing wise, because I just found your podcast just soon after starting like the Instagram, and so it's been nice momentum since then.
You say when you were 19, so how many years or have you been kind of enjoying whiskey? Because your tasting notes sound like you've been doing it a while, because I just love how detailed and expressive they are. So how long have you been doing tasting notes?
Well, the more interesting question would be, how old do you think I am? Because I look haggard, but it's interesting to think how old I actually am. I won't be offended.
Well, now
I was going around that question.
I feel like there's a trick in here now. I don't know, what, are you 25?
Oh, stop it, you flirt. No, I just turned 28.
Right, okay.
Right.
But often people think I'm, 30, 40-year-old man who potters around the house drinking whiskey, which is pretty much correct.
No, that's me, yeah.
It's the dream. It's what we all want. But yeah,
wow, that's spot on. Basically. Thanks, Jeff. I'm going to reevaluate my life decisions
now.
You cut him off. He was just about to say that was living the dream.
Yeah.
That was a good thing that he was.
Yes. I feel bad now.
Oh no! Please don't. Please don't.
Please continue.
So it's only probably in the last year is when I started romanticising whiskey. Like I found all the I really like ridiculousness. So like the more out there wild tasting notes always appealed to me. And because I've got quite a large nose, I thought this is my area. I've got this. So I was able to kind of, and I think because I've eaten a lot of food, I'm quite good at remembering food. Most of my life's highlights are around food.
Right.
That kind of ties in with the taste. And sometimes people like my notes. Sometimes people think I'm just chatting rubbish and just like, you're drinking whiskey. It's not like anything fancy. You can't taste all these flavors. But I've really enjoyed. It's a Scottish Malt Whisky Society who do the most ridiculous tasting notes. And
that's what you gravitate towards. You like
I really like the more out there and
the poetry.
Yeah, so I can't do poetry. My English is awful.
You would see. I was about to say, have you got a background in English, or because you do come up with such wonderful turns of phrase? To me, it felt like that was a natural thing.
Oh no, I'm like very dyslexic, and I'm not good with words. I'm very not good. Great example. I'm really poor at vocalizing what I'm thinking. So I used to like read the dictionary a lot to try and learn new words and try and improve vocabulary, but it's kind of got there from there. I am named.
Yeah, you know you're doing a good job. Yeah. I have the same thing. Last week on the other podcast I'm on, we were talking about how English as a first language or being fluent in English is important if you want to be an astronaut. And that was what came out next. So I was like, well, that's me scuppered then. So
you're also too tall.
Yeah, that's true as well. But so. Going back to your origin story, you said that you had your first whiskey when you were 19. What was it? Do you remember?
I'm not sure. I would imagine it would be Glenfiddich 12 because that's what my mum would drink with ginger ale.
Right.
I was a rapscallion, let's say, and I was drinking from quite an early age, being a proper seaside towny boy with ciders on the park bench. So I've probably tried it before then, but I think that's probably one of the first ones that I can recall having. And then, like, if you went out with mates and they'll go to a pub, you'll go to there, do the order, and it'll be 4 lagers and what's that whiskey? I'll try that one, please. If it was spoons, normally Buffalo Trace was a popular one in spoons. There is other restaurants available, but
so what then became your go-to whiskey, or was it literally just a trial and error thing? And then did you then develop a favourite or a daily whiskey, or is that something that's really kind of happened over the last year?
I'll say that's happened more over the last year. A couple of years ago, I was really into Monkey Shoulder, so that was like the first one that I brought, and my wife bought me Johnny Walker Red, which lasted for a very long time, which made me think maybe whiskey's not for me. And then I was very fortunate, and the Whisky Exchange did a Christmas competition. I don't know if you ever saw them, where you had to find the sleigh on their website.
Yeah.
So they released like little riddles and you find it and then you win a gift voucher. So I managed to win £100 worth of whiskey.
Nice.
So that kind of fueled my ability to get whiskey. So I bought Binky Harmony, Nicker from the Barrel, got to think now, Glenfarclas.
Right.
So I've got a few staples, but the real whiskey I would say was the turning point was Hay Club.
Okay.
Which the whiskey masters would really be spitting on me right now for saying that. But yeah, the perfume bottle of Hay Club was what really turned me into it.
So you like the Hay Club?
Going back now, not so much.
Yeah.
But it is, that is, my wife got me an engraved bottle for my birthday of Hay Club.
Right.
Wow.
Which has pride of place, but when I do any videos, it's well hidden, that bottle is.
Yeah. It's a beautiful bottle.
I can't stand it. Yeah. I can't stand it. Nick likes it.
I don't mind. No, the Clubman, I don't mind. The Hay Club, the big one, the one they brought out originally, we reviewed it on the show in 2014 on the YouTube show, and we didn't enjoy it then.
No.
It's a bit gluey for us. But then it has its place. You know, it's with mixers and stuff. That's kind of what they're going for with that. It's a green whiskey, after all. So
I was the exact opposite. I really didn't like the Clubman, but I really liked the Club.
Right.
But it is aftershave in a bottle.
Yeah, I do wonder whether we should go back to that, Nick, and do something with it like we did Jack Daniels, and get really
smashed and stay up till 3.
Do a whole bottle. Yeah. No, I drink for 6 hours. So when did you set up the Instagram page then?
So that would have been maybe, I don't know. Well, I had my actual Instagram account, but I think my friends got fed up with me just posting about whiskey. It was either whiskey or my cat. So I wanted to kind of diversify and just channel everyone who's into whiskey at my friends, which is no one, and then just start a own little Instagram page. So maybe February last year.
Oh, right. Wow. Okay.
But it's kind of, So
and then it really has been the same trajectory as us then in terms of starting out, and
really nice being able to kind of listen to all your podcast episodes and kind of go along with it.
Yeah. Been learning about whiskey the same pace as we have, basically.
Well, I think you're learning much faster than I am.
I'm not so sure about that.
No. We have a lot of notes every week.
Yeah.
But that's half the fun of it, isn't it? You're having a deadline every week, which makes you have to learn everything correctly. It's for me, anyway.
You're listening to the Whisky and Things podcast.
Your Instagram's wonderful. I love the colours, the branding you've had, which matches your website, of course, as well. Tell us a bit more about your website. That's pretty new, isn't it?
So my job is a web designer. So I had an advantage building
it's all making sense, Dave.
Yeah. So graphics, logos, that's kind of my jam. And then it kind of thought, well, I've always wanted to learn how to do better marketing, like to be able to, with my job, to actually do it myself, to see what the clients go through more. And so I thought, okay, this is a good project to do. So I kind of started with that and it got bigger. And then I thought, okay, Instagram's going well, I'll do a website. And originally it was all very 80s looking, very like synth wave, retro, like kind of Magnum PI kind of, which all fitted in. I've got lots of Hawaiian shirts, but I didn't want to.
Last time we saw you, you were wearing a loud shirt. was, with the tash, amazing.
I've got to make a decision though. It's either I have the big mustache or the Hawaiian shirt, because if I mix both, it's just too much.
No, it's never enough.
Not for you, Tom Selleck.
No more for you, Tom Selleck.
That's a Family Guy reference, which Nick will find a clip of and put in the show notes.
Oh, my word. I enjoy that one. I enjoyed it. I'll have fun looking for that.
What's the game plan with this then, Jeff? Because obviously now you started doing some YouTube videos as well, which I think are amazing, by the way. I love the way you're editing it together.
Yeah, they're great. Very
amusing, but also really good reviews as well, the whiskey. So what is your game plan? Is it kind of you've kind of seen this thing as, this might be a potential new career route to brand ambassador or something like that? Or is this just a hobby which you're really enjoying, and because of lockdown you've got nothing better to do? Or both?
I think, it started very much as a hobby, and I didn't think anything would come from it. I kind of thought I'll create an Instagram page. I'll have 200 people, at most engage with me and chat about it. And then I ended up, there's a club called the Certified Originals. So there's a whiskey YouTuber called New Dram Drinker. So they started like a little Discord club. And then from chatting with them, they found out lots of them do YouTube videos. And it got a case of, I thought, so I've done Instagram. Okay, I'll do a website. It's the next thing to do? It keeps me busy. And then after doing the website, I thought, okay, I'm going to give YouTube videos a go. I've never done any video editing before. I've got a camera that is so old, my phone camera is much better. So it's just a case of, I bought a tripod for £5 and I thought, okay, let's see how it goes. So I've kind of done that, and it's been a learning curve. So it's just, I've not got a game plan. It's just more I'm seeing by each step and each thing I do. So the next thing is obviously taking over all the podcasts.
Yeah,
so I'm starting today, and then from then on.
Yeah.
But no, it's just, I think it's just a hobby, but
you enjoy it.
I think other people would see it more as this is now my second job, the amount of time I spend plugging away and drinking.
Yeah. And what's been the big discoveries for you since you started doing it?
Oh, that's getting deep now. I like it as in discoveries of whiskies, or
of whiskey. Well, maybe both. Like, I think for Nick and I, the discovery of world whiskies, in particular, actually close to home, English whiskey, has been a real eye-opener. And knowing that there are so many different flavour profiles out there. I mean, we joked in episode 1 about like Tasmanian whiskey, having never heard of it, and now we're kind of ashamed that we'd never heard of it because it's apparently really good, and it's that kind of thing. But Bimber's just down the road. I know you did some bit of Bimber tasting recently. Like there's so much stuff out there that isn't stuff that I'd heard of, or even from Scotland or bourbon from America. I didn't even know that you could get a single malt from America. It's things like that. It's been so many little eye-opening things for me.
Yeah, and that's so fascinating because I'm the same as you. I knew Scotland. I knew whiskey was, you get whiskey from Scotland, and I knew like Glenfiddich, and probably that was mainly it. And then obviously you see a few in bars, but like you said, English whiskey, it's amazing seeing that. So the nearest one to me is Dartmoor Distillery.
Yeah.
And we went down there when the restrictions eased off last summer, and that was amazing being able to see like, this is stuff that shouldn't be near me. This should be up in the hills of Scotland, buried away, or somewhere like buried in the middle of America where they're making moonshine and proper bourbon or bourbon, as I should say. But it's fascinating. And just all the people as well. It's been fascinating because I've managed to chat with so many people, which I think would never have happened. Like I may have seen Nick years ago when he performed in Green Day's American Idiot.
Yeah, I remember you telling me this.
So this would be a few years back.
Okay. What, 2016?
Yes, Exeter.
At the top of the hill?
Yes.
Yes, on the campus, the university campus.
Yeah, so it's mad like how someone I would have just seen once off playing a bass and thinking, it's got a really good soundtrack to now being able to come full circle. And I'm now talking with someone about whiskey who, I would have never talked to again. Nothing personal, but...
No, it's fine, I'll get that. No, I didn't see your stage door. Don't worry.
Maybe he just didn't have the moustache back then, Nick. Yeah. Maybe you did see him. But this is his new disguise. Yeah.
You mentioned you went to the Dartmoor Distillery. Is there any other distilleries you've been to?
No, I haven't. I was planning on going to Bimber just for lockdown.
Yeah. Make sure you let me know when you do, because it is literally there.
It's outside your door.
Pretty much.
I will do. So I'm hoping to go to more, and for my 30th, I was hoping to be able to do a couple. Whether we can, we'll see. But it's, I would love to go to distilleries because it's so eye-opening going down there. And I think we ended up being there they did a talk for maybe an hour, and then we kind of tried different whiskies and that lot. But I've happily spent the entire day in there just looking at the stills and obviously drinking more whiskey. But
and the smell, right? That was the thing when we went to Bimber. The smell was just amazing. It was like, and I think because we went just after first lockdown as well, so it was a sensory overload. Because you'd been so deprived of anything for so long, to that be the first outing we'd had was like, whoa! It was like, I got a bit too excited. It was fun.
He did.
It was fun. I'm sure it was similar
down
for you.
some new make.
Yeah, I did. I thought it was water. It was clear.
Refreshing.
Yeah. Well, it was actually.
But I imagine going to Bimber as well, because this is in a trading estate in London, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you go from the smell of like burnt out cars to suddenly be hitting with this.
Yeah.
That's just acting. No, that's just acting. It's just where Dave lives.
You get used to it, you know. Yeah. For me, it was like going from fresh air into this wonderful distillery smell, and all the fruity notes were all floating around the room. It was wonderful.
It was nice.
I was going to say, Bimber is very fruity. It was my first time trying it the other day, and I had like the peated new make they had, and so fruity.
Haven't tried that one yet.
So what whiskies are on your list you really want to try?
Ones to try. I've got to think off the top of my head.
On your wish list.
We've put me on the spot. I should have done some forward planning for this. I've got one bottle I managed to get, and I haven't opened it yet, is North Star, the independent distillery. They've done Sirius, and it's a 31-year-old whiskey.
Is it black?
No, there is one that is black, but this one I think is white and blue.
So they've got a Sirius black.
Wow.
So actually,
I set him up, you knock him down.
Yeah, exactly.
I knew there was going to be some sort of why so serious line or something, but I didn't expect that.
Harry Potter's godfather is a wolf.
Great.
That's where you're supposed to say you cannot be serious. Come on.
I thought you were just doing a public announcement.
Oh, outrageous.
Good
outrageous.
Lord.
Anyway, tell us more about the Sirius from North Star.
So that's the bottle. I managed to get that. So that dropped in price. So I was able to get that. I've never spent more than £69 on a bottle of whiskey. So that kind of dropped massively. So I was like, okay, I'll get that. That would be for my 30th birthday.
Nice.
But off the top of my head, what's the American one that you had? A single malt?
Gariana.
Westland
one. Yeah, that's on my list to try because that sounded amazing.
Yeah, the American single malt is my fave. And
the American Oak, is that, Nick?
Sorry, the American Oak.
Yeah. If you can get a sample of the Gariana 4, that was delightful. We both got sent a bottle of the Gariana 5, which was incredible.
Very nice.
You've had some of that, Nick, haven't you?
I have not. I should have had more than that. Look at that.
Oh my God.
Oh no, but some of it's gone into my infinity bottles.
Yeah, that's your excuse.
That's
right.
my reason, David. And this is for drinking.
Right, so the other one which you've done almost the same amount of is the one that you're not drinking, apparently. Jesus.
Whiskey's for drinking. It's not just me. But Danny Gruff's been round a few times in my bubble.
Oh, yeah. What, lockdown parties? Classic. I've heard all about the Manchester lockdown parties. It's Nick Kent, is it?
Notorious. Nick's bar.
Nick's bar.
300 people, the last one.
Recording this, you're just going to hear a bang on the door and get on the ground.
It's the Rozzers.
Anyway, Rozzers. Fantastic. Talking of infinity bottles, though, have you done that, or are you not interested in that kind of thing?
I did it, and it was disgusting. It went really. So.
Did you overdo it with the peat?
Possibly. I had. Have you tried the new black bottle? So it's like £15, and it's. So I ended up probably putting half of that in there just because I couldn't drink any more of it. Wow. And I thought there's some good whiskies in there. It'll balance out. It really didn't.
It didn't.
Right. No.
So I kind of...
Is that the black bottle, which is a little bit lower in alcohol content?
Yes. Yeah,
right,
I think it's like the 40%. Yeah, I think like it drops sometimes down to like £13.
Right.
But it's worth trying, but it's like licking an ashtray.
Lovely.
On that note, shall we crack on with a whiskey tasting?
Yeah, I thought something was missing.
Whiskey bots, roll out.
This week's whiskey.
Ardmore Legacy, lightly peated, Highland single malt Scotch whiskey, 40% ABV. Have you had this before?
I don't think so.
Jeff?
I opened it, so I've had it for maybe a month and I've not opened it. So I opened it a couple days ago. Where I've had one glass and now I've just poured myself quite a hearty glass.
Glass.
So it's nearly going in blind.
Should we have a bit of a distillery background?
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to give you one, right? I'm going to start off by talking about a guy called William Teacher.
Jeff, feel free just to go for a wander if you got something to do for 20 minutes. Sometimes it takes me a while to read these.
I'm looking forward to it.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I'm learning.
I'm learning. Oh, Super Nintendo timers. I'll let you talk about space at the beginning, Dave. Anyway.
No, I'm just saying it just can sometimes take you a long time to do it. That's my point. I enjoy listening to it eventually when it's edited.
Right, and now I'll crack on then. Right, you both heard of Teachers, right? The blended Scotch. Yeah? I'm trying to get on with it, Dave. I'm trying to get on with it.
Yes.
You've heard of Teachers, the blended Scotch. Good. Well,
yes.
This guy, William Teacher, in 1832, he started selling whiskey out the back, or maybe the front, probably the front, let's say, of his wife's grocery shop in Glasgow. I don't know why I said out the back. I doubt it was dodgy. This was after the Excise Act, so it was completely legit.
On the back of his wife's what?
Fruit and veg shop.
Oh my God! Reminds me of my first time.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh my God.
Yes, I've got a couple of interesting facts about William Teacher. He was
about him.
Bit of an innovator. Not only did he open the UK's first non-smoking bar.
No way.
Yeah, i.e. the first bar that smelled like farts, let's face it. That was known as the Dram Shop, or a Dram Shop. He also invented the mechanism that would inspire the ration card used by the British government during the Second World War.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's another one for the quiz master.
Such a shame that such a bad whiskey is now named after it.
We don't know. I've not had it. Apparently it's quite nice.
It's vile.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. There's Dave's. Have you had it before, Jeff? The Teachers?
No, I haven't. I've got a sample I got for Christmas. Yeah. I've heard it's quite good for what it is.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I did not enjoy it.
Yeah. I got that fact from the Great Drams of Scotland book by Greg Dillon, which arrived today.
Our friend Greg.
There you go. Yeah, we had Greg on the show back in episode 36 in November, and he'll be back on in a few weeks as well. A little surprise for everyone there. Yes, in his book, Greg goes on to say that it was in Teachers' dram shops, opened in 1856, that William wanted his blends to sing, to be understood and to be enjoyed. Patrons, most notably sailors on shore leave, were quite literally banned from getting inebriated or from smoking. A good century and a half ahead of a smoking ban in England. If you entered his dram shop, you would have expected to abide by these rules. No smoking, no buying rounds, and no getting drunk.
No blades, no bows, leave your weapons here. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves reference there. Nick will put a link to that in the show notes.
You, David, 10:30. You, Nicholas, 10:45. Bring us Scotch.
I can put some Rickman in as well in that point.
Absolutely.
William Teacher died in 1876, leaving his two sons, William Jr. and Adam, in charge of the company. Now, why am I talking about Teachers so much? Why?
I don't know. Why? I'm assuming because the Ardmore Distillery was probably built in 1898 by Adam Teacher, who was a son of William Teacher, probably to secure fill-ins for their blend. Don't know. Maybe that's why. And perhaps Ardmore single malt remains a principal component of the Teachers Highland Cream to this day. Maybe. I'm just guessing. I'm hypothesising there, Nick. Is that correct?
No, wrong. Completely wrong. No,
damn.
you're completely right. You're completely right there, Dave. Good.
Oh,
good
who'd
knowledge.
have thought it?
Good
Who'd
knowledge.
have thought it?
You got a good teacher somewhere, haven't you?
Teachers, William teacher.
Yeah, someone's been reading. Yes. Yeah, another thing I picked up from Greg Dillon's book is that, the Ardmore is one of 30 single malts and grain whiskies that make up the Teachers blend. There's plenty of this in the Teachers, and that's literally why it was started. The distillery is located close to a village called Kennethmont in Aberdeenshire, in the northeast of Scotland, just outside the Speyside region, maybe, depending on what map you look at. They call it Highland Whisky, so let's go with that. The distillery is at the highest point of the Northern Railway line, 600 feet above sea level. Yeah, it says in the tin that the Ardmore Distillery has been watched over by a family of rare golden eagles since 1898, hence the shiny gold eagle logo on their bottles. So that's what that's all about. Nearly done, Dave. Don't worry. Nearly done.
How many different whiskies do they sell, Nick?
They actually sell 4 at the moment.
Oh, really?
Yes. This one, the Legacy, which was launched in 2014 to replace the bottle called Ardmore Traditional Cask. But they relaunched that in 2015, calling it the Ardmore Tradition. You've got the Legacy, the only one that's chill filtered. Tradition, which is peated. Portwood finish, which is a 12-year, that's 6 years in the American white oak and 6 years in the European half port pipes. And they do a triple wood, which is also peated, aged in the American oak, quartz cask and pouchons. Is that how you say that? Puncheons. Let's go with that. They're all 46%, apart from the Legacy. But there we go. There's a bunch out there as well. I found a 30-year-old OB, official bottle, for about 300 quid. And but a bunch of IBs, indie bottlers, sell Ardmore as well. So yes, plenty out there if everyone wants to have a look.
You're listening to Whisky and Things. These British people talk funny.
So how much does this bottle set you back, Nick?
Whisky Exchange do this for $27.95, but I picked it up in Tesco, I think, for 22 quid originally. Where'd you get yours, Jeff?
I think I got it in Co-op for £18.
Yeah, yeah, you can find it. You can find it a good deal.
That's a very good value. Okay, so I had a sniff when I poured this, and I picked out the peat straight away, and now I've gone back to it, I can't pick out the peat as much. So either I've acclimatised to the peat as it's sat here, or as it's been sat in the glass, that's dissipated, and I'm getting more fruitcake vibes now.
Oh, okay.
A bit of coconut in there as well.
On the eyes, it's a light straw for me.
That dark chocolate bounty thing we've had before. I can't remember when we've had that before, but that's...
I'm getting the peat smoke. It is subtle, slightly briny, and a bit of heather as well.
What are you getting there, Jeff? That big nose of yours you were telling us about. Come on. I'm expecting good things now. You build it up.
Like, I get kind of like salted butter on like burnt toast.
Oh.
And also, have you ever... it's really sweet. Like kind of... I've been drinking a lot of summer fruit squash lately, so I don't know if that's it. But there's, what was it? Jelly crystals. So when you make, you buy the packets of jelly and you pour it in, that kind of like
those
really sweet.
Those jelly cubes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, wow. I used to love those things. Absolutely.
I'm not tasting jelly cubes. I can't smell jelly cubes.
Maybe pear drops then.
No, it's the raspberry flavoured jelly cube. I'm definitely getting it now you're saying it, which doesn't taste anything like raspberries, but it's... They call it raspberry flavour.
Yeah. It's like, what flavour is that? Oh, it's blue.
Yeah.
Purple. Purple's a fruit.
Yeah, it's pretty good on the nose. Quite enjoying this. Just having it as a sniff.
Yeah,
Get me a candle of this, Nick.
The Ardmore candle.
The Ardmore candle to go next to the Glenlivet Caribbean Reserve candle.
I'm going to have a sip.
Yeah, let's do it. Get your lips around it. Ooh, okay. Not what I was expecting. Certainly... There's more peat on the
definitely in it.
First sip than I was expecting. But not outrageous amounts of peat, not Isla style peat, but it's there.
Yeah, it's a bit more than lightly peated for me.
Yeah, I think so.
I want to try their peated ones if this is a lightly peated one.
Because you're a big fan of peat, aren't you, Nick?
I am.
What's your view on peat, Jeff?
This is really difficult because my actual name is Pete.
I know.
Sound like you're on Sky Sports or something. What's your view on Pete, Jeff?
Yeah, should I get? I don't know, Jeff. What's that?
Jeff. Yeah. Unbelievable, Jeff.
Someone's just been sent off, have they? I missed it.
And that's another clip that Nick will put in the show notes.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's nice. It's definitely, like you said, there's more peat on the palate than there is on the nose. It's kind of like ashy peat more, maybe charred. It's quite honey. If you have burnt honey.
Oh, you've just unlocked something for me there. Because I was getting smoked meats, like smoked ham. But they've said that it's a honey smoked ham. Honey ham, you know, the glaze.
Yeah. This is a bit like Lagavulin-y kind of.
This isn't as thick as a Lagavulin for me.
No, it's quite thin and quite cold.
I'd say delicate. Yeah.
High Street Lagavulin.
Let's not go down that route again. It's very mouth-watering, though, on the finish.
It's a long finish.
Yeah, quite lemony.
It's comforting, this.
Lemony. Interesting. Am I getting that vibe?
I tend to think it's a bit like kind of lemon soap, kind of almost at the end.
Oh, okay. Those lemon hard sweets.
I'm not getting that.
No,
but it doesn't matter. Doesn't mean anyone's right or wrong. It's probably me.
I'm enjoying this.
No, I am enjoying this. For the price tag, I think this is really good.
If you can get it for
really
18
good.
quid.
If you can get it for exactly, if you can get it from the back door of your wife's from your wife's back door or whatever it was, for 18 quid, you've done it. You've had a right touch, an absolute touch.
I'm not sure I'd pay 27 quid for it. It is nice, but I'd rather spend 28 quid on something else. But for 20 quid. Yeah.
For that price as well, you can have a lot of fun with this, couldn't you? You could start try a peated old fashioned or something like that,
or smoky cokey.
Or exactly. Just because you don't feel like you're wasting a lot of money on a cocktail.
No.
And that may then inspire you to use a more expensive. Once you find a drink that's like works with peat, you might go, oh, do you know what? For a special treat tonight, I'm going to have a smoky cokey with a Lagavulin or something, because you know it works.
Yeah.
And I feel like that could be a good way of using this, because it is good. It's a solid. I mean, that's a solid drink. There's no complaints from any of us, I don't think.
Absolutely not. No.
For a sub 20 bottle, that's decent.
Yeah.
I am going to quickly try it. I got a Highland Whisky.
I have. I was going to do the same. One moment. I
tend to find with like the budget the budget cheaper ones.
Yeah.
The Whisky tends to really help it.
Well, I haven't got the Highland. I've got the Speyside one. That's the closest I've got.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same.
But then I've got an Isla one. That might work as well because it's peaty. I'm going to try Speyside. So it's not too far out there. It's a dark chocolate one, this. Oh, yeah. Picking out the old Whisky. Because I noticed on your video, you've got the new English Whisky, haven't you? Yes,
yeah. I've got that pride and placement on the top.
Yeah. How is that?
It's really nice.
What are you having that with?
The only English... Oh, no, I lie. I got two. I've got Cotswolds, the single malt.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, possibly my whiskey of the year for last year.
Oh, really?
Nice. Good whiskey, that.
And then I've also got, the Dartmoor ex-bourbon cask.
Right.
But, yeah, it goes well with the Cotswolds.
So this chocolate is worth more than the whiskey. Just putting it out there.
Oh, the dram. Yeah, the bottle? Yeah.
Yeah, per gram or per, unit.
All right.
Oh, that's good.
Which chocolate did you have, Dave?
I still had a couple of the Highland ones left.
You've got the Highland?
From the sample, the original sample we had.
Oh, that went. Yeah. That went. Good. Whisky again.
Yeah,
That's so great just to have here, just to pop in.
When you pop in the back door.
That's it.
Right,
One bottle's gone. That's it for me. That's
excellent.
It. Polished it off.
So, final verdict on the Ardmore, which I always get confused with Ardbeg just because of the Ard. It's dead hard, Jeff. It's dead hard. Getting it right. I don't but I enjoyed this whiskey. I think you're right, Nick. I think for 18 quid to early 20s, I think it's incredible. Late 20s in price, 27 quid, 28 quid, like they've got it on the Whisky Exchange. I still think it's a good whiskey. I still think that's a good whiskey. But
I'd buy something else. But yeah, it's nice.
So thanks very much, Jeff, for joining us for this tasting and to find out a bit more about you.
Nice glass. It was always going to taste nice in that glass, wasn't it? Your Whisky and Things, Glencairn.
It's a known fact that it always sounds better in that.
Scientifically proven.
We'll obviously see you in soon for the anniversary show, and we look forward to your tasting on the whiskey, which has gone in the post today. But where can people? Obviously, Nick's going to put it in the show notes. But where can people find more about you? Obviously, we've said your name many times, but
I've got jeffwhisky.com, and then I'm Jeff Whisky on Instagram. and then just Jeff Whisky on YouTube. So I'm nice and original, really.
And that's Jeff spelt Jeff as opposed to Geoff.
Yeah, Jeff, and then
the easy version of Jeff.
Yeah, and no E in whiskey, just the Scottish way.
Yeah,
the Whiskey and Things way.
Nice. So yeah, thanks very much for joining us. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks for having me.
This is the Whiskey God, reminding you to please always drink responsibly.
And you can watch the full uncut video of that interview with Jeff if you're a Whisky and Things Patreon.
Like Jeff. He can watch himself back.
He can watch himself back. He's such a lovely guy. If you'd like to become one of our patrons and help support the show, then please head over to patreon.com/Whisky and Things. Of course, you can still join us for our birthday party right now as well if you sign up before the 7th. But you can find out more about Jeff, as he said, at jeffwhisky.com or on Instagram at Jeff Whisky, or just search Jeff Whisky on YouTube. But Nick will be putting those in the show notes.
Naturally.
He really is great, and his reviews are great, so make sure you're following him. If you're into your whiskey reviews and want to know more about whiskey or be inspired to drink different stuff, then please go and check him out, because I always enjoy seeing his posts.
Yeah, I'll second that. Entertaining stuff, everyone.
Entertaining stuff, and a lovely guy to boot.
And when Alexander saw the breadth of his domain, he wept, for there were no more worlds to conquer.
So, Nick, what have we got coming up next week? Episode 50, the Big 50.
The Big 50. Big 50. Well, if all goes well, next week we'll be joined by Chris and Abby of the Cooper King Distillery.
Yorkshire.
Yeah, they were telling us all about their incredible origin story of how they started their distillery, which spans the globe. Ladies and gentlemen, Cooper King are currently aging their first batch of whiskey, but they've been kind enough to send us their new make spirit to taste, as well as their gin and vodka.
Yeah, these two are fascinating. It's a really great story, and I can't wait to delve into it with them, because it does link back to our very first show, which is why I wanted to get them involved for show number 50. But it's a great story, so that's to look forward to. But thanks very much to everyone who's listened. Thanks to Jeff Whisky for coming on.
Thank you, Jeff Whisky.
We will see you next week.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we have one thing left to say. Cheers.
Thanks for coming. Look at the question mark on the auto cue.
Whiskey and Things has been brought to you by And Things Productions.